So, this day today, it is now the next day, Tuesday, February 11 to 12 a.m. So, yesterday and today during the night, I have been busy reinstalling my computer because a hacker thought it was funny to ruin my options to record. These recordings here were all like a gray block, it wouldn't work. Nothing worked, everything was stuck, all my passwords were changed, and I'm probably not quite done, but I am on the way. I just had to reinstall and reset everything and new passwords and etc. I hope it can now be okay for a while. So, what I thought was odd when I saw the hacker was here was that I was recording this a while ago, and it was more towards my kidnap and how I was brought up in regarding to food and losing weight and be healthy. And it turned into this gray block, and then again. And then I went to this other account where I actually did a live recording to make sure that I just had it. I couldn't stand it. But then I forgot, and usually these things go away, but today it came back. And so, recording, I hope this recording will not immediately be deleted. So what I wanted to say is, well, who am I? Where am I from? Where where do I come from in a character way, and regarding my food and beverages intake and oversized body. Well, so you see on the top of my page here the pictures of me very, very big, and then I call it half size. I don't know if it's half size entirely, but that's how it feels, and that's what I'm going with. And the plan is to go with another half size down soon. How did I do it? Well, I just ate only things that were not very interesting or tasty or good or fat or sugary. So boring things, but if you had some 70s or 80s experience, maybe a little 90s, then those things that belong in that food circle, they call it, they still have it. There's some fish, there's some meat, there's some bread, there's some butter, there's some milk, there's some eggs. You should eat some of everything. To me, that's still just very healthy, and especially with the pandemic, it's just necessary to know that you need that, but you do have to find the right things. So if you get an egg that is not treated or not clean, you can get very sick. So you have to be very careful about what you eat. So it is a little different, to say the least. It is really important because you can start sneezing and you can start getting the long haul. So I've had that a few times. I have to be very careful that I don't get that again. I recovered by just standing up and doing it anyway. So first I had to lie down. I nearly died, and then I got it again and again and again, and I got so sick and I couldn't even walk to the bathroom, that kind of sick. And I laid in bed for a very long time, and a lot of stress, a lot of horrific things on my mind, and then this pandemic, and it's just too much. But I fought it off by stepping out of the bed and walking to my living room and working on a high desk with a high chair, and just doing that every day, and it really worked. Getting a walker and going out with the walker and just walking in the street, and seriously felt every time, while on the way, so many steps that I was actually dying, with feeling like, your body's going to let go of those fluids and you'll just be dead, when that happens, when they say That's what it felt like. And every time I had to sit down, very calmly wait, and then it would go over, go away, and I'd do it again. And it wasn't hard besides that, except, well, sometimes people would just laugh at it and laugh at me, and I would think, yeah, that's funny. I'm dying and you're laughing on the corner for some reason. I'm funny now. You know, what if I actually die? But that's what people sometimes do. You have to live with it. It's hard. It depends where you live, you know. If you live in a really nice area, it wasn't the nicest area, so that would make it very hard. Here, right now, people would be nice and nicer at least. And you know, if you live in another country maybe, or in California maybe, or I don't know, you know, maybe somewhere else, Ohio, the people would actually say, are you okay, are you okay, you know? But yeah, who am I? Well, um, I I guess you could say I have a lot of that in me. I have a lot of the 70s and the 80s and the 90s in me. I don't really like this time to attach to it. It is mostly because, well, the 70s were just very kind and free, and people would have their mustache and their shirt and their hair cool, and they'd just be nice, and people would just sort of be open and celebrate, and sort of that was that. And in the 80s, people would be having to walk into more negative impulses, but they would be tough. So they would be like, there's that funny video where the guy does the years in bumping into the wall. Every set of so many years, he'll react different. So in the 70s, it's like that. In the 80s, it's like that. But in the 90s, it's like, oh no. And then nowadays, he starts crying or making videos. So over so many 10 years, people just changed a lot. So I'm kind of like that time, and it wasn't all tough. It was also fun and ridicule, and in the 90s even more so, very free and liberated. And you would have friends with, like, say, the little people, and they would come to the parties and dance on the bar, and you could even joke with them, you know, lift them up. But it was all in good sport thing. It was all in good fun. They would love to be there. Nowadays, they would probably say you can't say little people, and you can't lift them up, and you can't party with them, and you're not allowed, and everything's a thing now that's really bad, right? So I don't really like this time of day, really. Just for that, just for the negative bite in everything people do. And yeah, what have I done in my life? Well, I've generally always worked. From young age on, I was a runaway because I was that kidnapped baby. And I never knew that, but I did have a really bad youth, so I ran away. And then I had to make it on my own, but I sort of had to make it on my own anyway, so I formed my own opinion, and I'm very glad that I did that with very intelligent things like, you know, watching very, very good shows on TV, whether that was Oprah Winfrey, which was very helpful, like sort of Dr. Phil now, but more relative to reality. Like, he might say at some point, well, when someone says, oh, it's not true, or it is, or whatever he says, and Oprah Winfrey would probably never say that, you know. So it was more real. Of course, you can't always know the truth because someone said, oh, you know, it's sort of ridiculous too. But he doesn't always say that. He just has that. Sometimes he says the weirdest things. She would not do that. She would be really good at telling people how to live and survive. If you'd be kidnapped, she'd have a whole set of ways to get out of it and escape, or you know, find a safe place and not stay in the same scene, because the next scene would come and it would get worse, and that's things you were just explaining. And those things aren't even a topic anymore, it seems. Well, maybe I'm just not watching the right shows. But TV is gone, of course. A lot of miss, because that was really good. The way that you were educated back then, it was like fantastic. Anyway, I would do that in the radio and school, and I would get as much as I could from anything, whether it was a letter for someone official from a lawyer or a doctor or a bill. I would just look into it and study it. And well, I guess I became my own person and a bit persistent. So I'm a bit of a persistent kind of a person now. But if you look at my physical things, well, I didn't get any of that. As you look at me further, you might learn. I don't know if you're ever going to watch any of these videos, but you might learn that I'll lose weight and I look cute. And I always had that when I was thin. I'd look cute, and my what I thought was my sister was my kidnapper. I was this kidnapped baby. I just really hated that. And so she did like just about anything to get me to eat and get fat and forced me and really violently forced me to better listen to me because I'm bigger than you and, you know, really make me eat those chippies. And because I had no interest in food in a positive way. It's not that I didn't want to eat. I just didn't think it was a thing like some foodies do that get fat or plus size, sorry. I got fat or plus size because of that, and because of accepting it and just doing that and then forgetting it. You know, it's a very young child thing that you'll forget, more or less totally, and less you remember, like me right now. And yeah, I've learned to do good diets and lose weight all throughout my life, while realizing I had to go out and have a good time, and I wanted to have a good time, and I knew I could look cute, and all I had to do was be thin. So I had all these dreams of things that I wanted to do, like go to the beach. That was my favorite thing. Everybody always went to the beach, and I just couldn't even go. I was always inside. And going out, just going to like maybe a disco at the time, a nightclub now, you know, just dance or have fun. And so I had a lot of other reasons and dreams, but focusing on weight loss, it was clothes, fashion, and that. And of course I had dreams like all the girls do, like being a model and a singer and an actress all the time. But narrowing it down to my realistic miss, that was the beach, and what I really wanted was to go out. And so I did lose the weight, and well, these people got me to take pills that were called Terunac, that made me kind of stupid but lose weight. And later I did that without it, of course. And so I learned that I could just eat little and I would lose weight. And I could also sport a lot and lose weight. I did that too. I did a lot of aerobics. That was so cool. Yeah, and then I had that fun life for a moment. First I worked and studied and partied in a regular way within the range of a lovely village and city with great people that I walked into, and then because I had gotten out of kidnap at the time, and then at the beach was a little wilder, but I saw the innocence in that. It was like cold Woodstock, so maybe I should have seen it was wild, but for me it was like, nah, this is not so bad. So I just enjoyed that. I never felt that way. And then someday I got this awful news that a friend of mine, a friend that I made there, had actually stolen a lot of my belongings. And the fact that I just loved him so much hurt for me a lot. And the things that he saw were so extreme that I couldn't really handle it. And that's when I really got fat. I also got into a car accident when I was going to tell on him, so that wasn't good. And I thought that I had a whiplash and everything, but I was back at that address and they just put stuff in my food that I figured out. One day I walked in and I got very sick, and I thought, gee, that I was sick. And I looked in the refrigerator where she was cleaning in, and she had all these pots in there with like nail polish remover and pills for the doctor, and well, more or less that's it. And one standing, one lying down, one half lying down, empty, full, half empty, pills everywhere, water or acetone and everything. And she didn't react, so I took the pack of milk and I opened it and smelled it. And then it smelled really bad, like nail polish remover. And I said, well, then I'll just never eat or drink her again, because that was always my milk. And then I got my memory back, which is why I found out, oh, I was kidnapped. And that must have been a laugh to get me drugged and poisoned so long. So then at some point I got the courage, I got over it, and I started losing weight. And I did that by walking. I call it walk, sit, stand. I would go somewhere, I'd walk, I would deliver some mail, walk back, sit down, and do the next mailbox. And I would do that for a few years actually, and lose all the weight, and in a calm way, so I could still just eat very healthy, and every day a bar of chocolate, just to get used to it that I could, It's not so good to say that you're not allowed to have anything. So I told myself, no, it's okay, you can. And then I lost some more weight, and I looked kind of cute. I got a job. I moved here to New York, and hopefully find my parents and friends and family and my trust fund, yada yada. And I got to work where I sat all the time. Now I sit all the time. And my boss said, why don't you have some soup and some bread? And I told him I can't, so I know what happens. He sort of kept insisting, and then I blew up. And later I lost the weight again and blew up again, but it was a little bit now. It wasn't as much. And one time it was a bit more, when there was a lot more stress. That's in the time that I got very sick, because then COVID came, and got even bigger. And then that's the picture you see on my channel, where I got that big. And yeah, that's, when I realized that I actually was dying, and I wanted to live and get out, but I didn't have the money. And I couldn't do the house where I lived anymore. I couldn't stay in bed. And so I just sat there and worked. I just somehow did nothing else but work, day and night. And then I got a little extra money, and a lot. And then I was very happy because I could leave that building. I called the murder building. A lot of terrible things happened there. People just died and got killed, and it stank like body. It was terrible. And that was great. And then I thought I would do the surgery I told you about before. And the lady said, well, it's 3 times more expensive, so I canceled that. She didn't even have me on the list. It was just a call. And then I was just promising I'd call her back, and she promised I'd have the special on it. Yeah, then I did it myself, and I had to move, and then I was here, and I'm still on a diet, but I had a tough time, a really tough time. time. It is only because I couldn't accept that I still don't have what I want. And you know, sometimes people don't have what they want, and you should just be happy because other people live on the street, and I do understand that. It's just that I work really hard, and I know that if you do, and if you are lucky, but maybe if you just do, because at some point my employer also said we have to stop working because it's COVID, everybody stops working. And I just said, I'm not stopping working ever. I'm going to keep working and you're going to keep getting money and I'm going to show you what I can do. And then I just kept doing it and then the money came in and that's just what I do. So I understand that it's different for everybody, but I'm an extreme overdoer and that's what you call it. I just call it a doer. And I do that. So for me, this is not good. But I did realize recently, and again just now, I am only working on my diet. You know, there are things that come in that are, you know, you have a dog, you have to take care of it. You have a move, you have to move things or buy new furniture, you know, you have whatever, you have a new kitchen, you buy new cups and plates, but the majority of these things are like so much less important that they just are ridiculous, you know, because if I don't lose weight, I will not live as long as when I do. And I will be miserable for the rest of my life. Every day of my life will be a horrifying pit of shit when I don't lose weight. So I should just let go of these other sidetracking things. Like now my computer broke, I had to fix it. I stayed up, it's 2:30 a.m. and I'm just about done with, like, maybe it's 3/3, maybe it's more like I don't know, maybe it's half of being done. But okay, so at least this is done. I can go to work tomorrow and computer will work. But if I stick with it and do more and get more and more irritated and more irritated, you know, I could eventually fix it, which is what I could do. But I would hurt my happiness. I would take that from my diet and then I might eat things that are bad for me. Another thing I realized is that when you're addicted, you want things and it's going to come back. You're going to say, I want to have something. I want to order something, especially with meat. Horrible, because I don't like meat, you know. A hamburger sucks because it makes you want something more, you know, because there's meat in it. That's what I have with it. So anyway, what I used to do is just have something else, like a cracker or brown bread, and all they say bruin broodjes, which is basically a very, very multi-grain bread that's dark of color, and maybe like pumpernickel, and something, you know, just something, and a lot of it. So you can have like a lot of crackers that are for diet, with some slices of cheese until you're done with this addiction that is ramming through you like a locomotive, like all day long. I suddenly got this hunger over me that's like worse than you could. Like, I've been hungry. I've done diets with and without pills, and I have starved myself half to death. And I know what hungry is, but sometimes I get hungry that's like way worse than anything. And I'm not even hungry. I always think it's like a chemical hunger. It's like some additive in food that makes you starve for food. It like goes through you like a madhouse. And you just have to say no to it. And it's not always easy. But you can. And at that time, you better have these crackers and just fill up and fill up and fill up and fill up. Because you should never ever take anything else that really makes you eat, you know. It should be very minimal, that you can say, okay, my belly is filled to the like limit. There's like nothing I can eat. And maybe you're still hungry because it's that madhouse crazy, but at least you're done and you still will lose weight because there's no calories in this stuff. That. So in there, I had like more than I could bear. I was full and I was like, I have to eat some more. And then that's what I mean. And then I even ate more until I was like, no, I cannot have any more. And I put it away and now I'm calming down. And it was a high stress moment because my computer was hacked. I was trying to record this, the recordings were all disappearing. Then they changed my passwords of recoveries. So you cannot do a reset of your computer because you don't know your own password to do it. And it was a fanatic person did that. And he totally wanted me to know that he did it. So, you know, that was just making me hungry. And it is because I was already on a lot of stress. How is this all like I keep saying negative things, negative energies are so bad for your weight loss diet, so bad. If your husband yells at you or your kid or your dog or whatever, it drives you nuts, you know, or you're like, oh no. And then you want to eat something, am I right? And that's just what the problem is. So you have to keep avoiding that. And I have been not able to avoid it, and now this computer hack, oh my God. But I had the crackers. Today I had the crackers. Yes, my first day of not falling off the diet. Okay, I had a little candy, but I excused myself. I taught myself I can do it, and stick with that. Absolutely not going to do that every day. So, I hope this recording will work. It says it's 27 minutes and 9, 10 seconds, 11 seconds. So I'm going to press stop, and if it is still there, then I'm going to post it. And I hope so. So I just wanted to say who I am. It became a much longer story, a lot of complaints, but that's good for me to do that, to just put that out there. Sort of my diary relief thing, yeah. Did you see that Super Bowl? Oh my God, everybody was waving these flags and it looked so romantic. I feel so for America. They've had such a tough time and so many negative things, so many people heartless, always complaining about Americans, you know, even people that all live here, you know, oh, you Americans, like, geez, you know, can't you be nice? These people having a tough time. They had a beautiful country once, you know. But that was a sight for sore eyes. All those little pompons. So cute. So cute. Don't make me cry. So cute. Anyway, yeah. So I'm Eve. I have not loved food when I was a kid. I don't love food now. I like it when it's perfectly or sweetly or romantically created with a nice person or a nice family or a nice restaurant. Has a nice gesture and a nice box, but then I'll say, oh, isn't that cute, and have some feelings for it. I mean, the word love, food, I don't even know what that is except that. And when I worked at a private carrier for foods for airplanes, I did some food there. And the lady who created the caviar, that I loved it. She made castles of caviar. She really did. I don't know if you've ever, it must be around, you know, when you have a little money, it should be. It was beautiful, pink caviar with color, maybe also, you know, I don't remember, but mostly pink. It was a big pink castle. It was huge. It was really, really big. It was beautiful. that I love. I just love big things and extreme things and beautiful things. I love horses when they're amazing. Like Arabians or Frisa Barda or dressage horses or jumpers or polo horses or, just seahorses. But special things. And so I don't even like food, especially the stuff that makes you feel like shitty, fries and a burger from a restaurant that's not that good, little soft, little shitty. Can I really eat it? Am I gonna get sick? I'm sorry, I'm joking, but isn't that really what that is? No, I don't like that at all. I'm having too much fun. I'm gonna hang up now. But so no, I don't love food. Don't have a marriage with food. And I just want to be happy, man. Okay.